Hey everyone, welcome back to TriFig. Today is October 25th at 7:55 a.m. and Goodsmile just opened their pre-order page for their new Megumi Kato first meeting version. We're going to go ahead and take a look because she's a very crazy looking figure with a lot of stuff going on. Bit of a steep price tag, but we're going to take a look to see whether you should pre-order her or skip her. Stick around and let's take a look. Okay, so here we are, Goodsmiles page for Megumi Kato first meeting outfit version. This figure is based off a Blu-ray jacket from the second season anime. It's illustrated by Kurehito Misaki, and it looks like they're doing a very damn good job of bringing it into figure reality. I just kind of wanted to read through as to what they're describing her as. It says, the figure features a highly dynamic sculpt with cherry blossoms and a canvas adorning the base. Kurehito Misaki's unique style from the original illustration has been meticulously created with elaborate paintwork. Be sure to add this special figure featuring Megumi's outfit from the very beginning to your collection. I probably will because she looks pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at pictures before we go into Kahotan. So just going off of this, we can kind of see, we see the canvas in the background, we see an illustration, the cherry blossoms right here, her bag, her face is really beautiful, and there's her little beret. So far, it's very positive, the view of this figure. It looks very three-dimensional. It almost seems like they're just kind of having her popping out of that picture from her illustration instead, which is a really fun idea and really beautiful. Very amazing. Look at this. I hope this is going to be a metal peg right altogether. Even right here, looking at her hair, you can kind of see the gradient that they have in some other of the Goodsmile Megumi figures. And that looks really good and very nice. You can even see there's work on the back of this canvas. This kind of looks like a bit of the hanging features right there. So they're going really crazy on the details, so it's a very beautiful figure. It actually reminds me a lot of Chitoge figure from Alter a few years back. That was a phenomenal figure, and I'll show some pictures of that one right now. That one got a lot of really good reviews, and it was a very beautiful figure. I'm not sure if it's easy to come by nowadays, but it's one of those figures that you look at, that you can't stop looking at. It's very beautiful just looking at it in 360. It's a very wonderful figure. Yeah, let's get that. So yeah, there's a lot of work on the eyes like normal. Her bag, I mean even her bag in Nendoroid form was very well captured. So this is beautiful. So let's go ahead and take a look at the page Kahotan has up and see what he's got to offer us going on here. I always like the pictures he has on his blog a little more. They always seem more as to what you're gonna kind of look at when you actually have her in your room. Alright, yeah, so he's talking about the pose being very dynamic. I like this. I know this is probably just pre-release work right now. This line is a little worrying, but they probably just put her together to promote it right now, so that should be fine. There we go, that's the close-up we wanted for her face, and you can see the gradient filling out right there very nicely. On the bow is really good. It's the same kind of outfit we had on her getting undressed version that Goodsmile released not too long ago, so it's very nice. She's just perfect. Nice, good, beautiful. Yeah, and the work on these cherry blossoms looks very amazing, very good too. Look at all the paint work going on here and the shading and the details on all the little parts of the leaves and everything. It's probably going to look a lot better once they get it into final form. And right now it looks a little Play-Doh-y right here, but I'm assuming it's just pre-production, so it should be good. Yeah, look at they've even got cherry blossoms falling right on the canvas. Very nice. Her skin also looks very, very soft right here, so that's gonna be fun. So they're even texturing the canvas as well. Very cool. Look at all the wrinkles right there going around her jacket as she's jumping up. Very impressive. Look, they've got stuff even sculpted into the side of her bag. Look at how beautiful these shoes are being painted too. That looks really nice. You can even see a bit of pattern going right there. That's wonderful. You got your strut, your support bar right there. I don't know what kind of canvas mounting system they're using in this display, because I've been mounting canvases for almost 10 years now and I've never stretched one like this. This looks kind of ugly. Not for the figure, but just in a canvas in general. I'd hate to have a canvas like that. Anyway, moving on. Got distracted there for a second. So yeah, she looks like a wonderful figure. Very, very cool. And they look like they've got a little display for her going on right now too in Akihabara. So this looks like a really great figure. Very, very beautiful. Lots of detail, and that pose is just crazy. Alright, so let's take a look at who's doing the sculpt work for her. If you've been on my channel before, you might remember when we reviewed the Megumi Kato swimsuit version from Goodsmile as well. We've got the same sculptor here, so it's going to be fantastic. His name, Ajiken. He's got a pretty good repertoire on Hobby Searcher's website right here. He's got everything from Hatsune Miku V4 Chinese. He also did this other one that I wanted to show off. This is Reina from Strike the Blood 3, and you can I just wanted to show that. That's a fun picture. They've got really good support on their structure, very clear form, and very well job of recreating illustrations, so there's no worry there with the sculptor here. I didn't see a mention on paint artist for this one, so we'll go ahead and skip that part for now. And there's our swimsuit version from Megumi Kato. I've got a review for her up if you're interested. Go ahead and take a look at that. She's a fantastic figure. There's a bit of issue with her left hand grip going a little loose as the days go by, and it's probably just if you're in a more humid environment, it's letting loose of all the structure that it originally had. But so far so good. I love this figure, and she's joining with a bunch of other figures I have from Goodsmile that released more Megumi. Aside from Goodsmile, there's also a bunch of Megumi from Aniplex Plus. I think there's even one from Fat and Freeing. So Megumi is probably the second character I have the most figures of aside from Hatsune Miku. But yeah, this is wonderful. So now we've got her cover, we've got her sculpt covered, we've got her counterparts covered. Let's finally go ahead and take a look and see what she's going to cost us. Alright, so I have her up on Goodsmiles Online shop, and we're looking at $181 pretty much, rounded up to the penny. That's a pretty high asking price right now, but you know, compared to some other ones, it's a lot of detail. It's a very crazy pose, very awesome figure. I think it's just gonna be worth it, seeing as the Aniplex Plus lingerie version of Megumi, which just came out. I have her in my room right now. I'm showing pictures of her as we speak. She was about $200. There's gonna be quite a difference in that, and her pose is not as dynamic, and you know, her spots to look at isn't, you can still see her around when you're spinning her, but we'll cover more about that in review when I finally get to it. But this looks pretty good. I'm preferring this price for this figure than I am the lingerie version. It's up for pre-order now up until February 13th. Seems like a long pre-order period. When does she come out? Holy cow! April 2021? A year and a half to wait. Wow. Okay, well, you've got time to save money. Alright, she's also available on AmiAmi for slightly less, but remember, you're still having to wait until that 2021 release date. And then AmiAmi doesn't have the same kind of deals when it comes to shipping as Goodsmile does. With Goodsmile, let's take a look right now. So with Goodsmile, you're paying about $18. I think if you were to pre-order off of AmiAmi, once you finally get her in stock, if you do EMS or DHL, garner a guess you'd be paying around maybe $50 to $60 to ship her out if the box is very big, which, looking at all the details on all the parts, I'm gonna assume it's gonna be a little bit of a bigger box. Hopefully interesting, but yeah, I would probably pre-order off of Goodsmile, which I'm gonna do right now. But there you go. Aside from this one, there was a couple other Megumi figures that were on pre-order, and I did skip one of them. I skipped Megumi Kato pillow version. I skipped her because I wasn't too much a fan of this pose and the detail going on right here. But yeah, the facial expression I wasn't too happy about, so I skipped this figure. I am, however, considering the bear version of the 1/4 scale Freeing Bunny Megumi Kato. I skipped out on her first one because I didn't like the coloring and I didn't like the fishnets so much. This one looks pretty good. It's about the same price, but she has a 1/4 scale, and I know I promised never to order a 1/4 scale again, but this looks just too beautiful to skip. So there we go. But being a year and a half away, it's hard to tell, especially since there was some stuff I was concerned about looking at this pre-production images. But it's Goodsmile, so they do tend to have a pretty good control on their figures, so I wouldn't worry too much. But other than that, I would say go ahead and pre-order her now, or at least until February 13th, that's when they close their pre-orders. But yeah, if you have any more questions, let me know down in the comments. Check out Kahotun's blog if you want to see more of those amazing pictures. And remember, buy responsibly, keep collecting, and we'll see you next time right here on TriFig. See ya.